In our society, freedom of speech lets us say our opinions, and first of all, I'm going to start this off by really asking a question: what would our society be like if it didn't exist? Freedom of speech is defined as the right to express facts and opinions subject to only reasonable limitations. People say that we should limit it, and people say that we should unlimit it. And I myself am for keeping it unlimited, because really without freedom of speech, it would be a horrible world that I don't want to dream of. So some reasons of why we should keep freedom of speech and how it helps is because the media can tell us the truth. People can have a sense of responsibility. It allows religious groups and ethnic groups to speak freely. With freedom of speech, media can print what they like without censorship, including criticisms of government. The media can publish information that disagrees with the government, because we as the public have the right to know. The media can also print what their views on world issues without being punished. For example, in recent months, the media have been free to publish facts and updates on the Rob Ford situation without being jailed. These are just some examples of the media with power and effective with freedom of speech. Another reason is people can have a sense of responsibility in freedom of speech. So, with freedom of speech, it promotes certain social values. Your opinions can be heard without much fear and repercussions. It's an important step to social evolution in the world, because we are able to solve more world issues if we hear multiple ideas that can lead to one great one. As I said before, freedom of speech gives people a sense of responsibility. And freedom of speech allows ethnic groups and religious groups to freely to present themselves confidently in the public. And they can have protests for things such as the headscarf protests that happened in Quebec. And they can do these protests without fear of repercussions or imprisonment. And they can present themselves publicly, and they can speak freely about what their views on the world and society are like today. So as I said before, we should keep freedom of speech. And to answer that question, I think we should keep freedom of speech because really the world would be dull, boring. We'd only hear opinions of people in government or people in a state of power. The world would just be bland. So anyways, I think we should keep freedom of speech.